So today we're going to look at some hot takes in film. All right, so the first hot take is from Stranger Things is that Dr. Brenner is the most intriguing character in this series, and it's a shame he won't be in the final season. He is an intriguing character, so I'm not going to say that he's not. But the most intriguing? The most intriguing character I think also differs season by season. The first intriguing character in season 1 would be 11 just because of how mysterious she is, and she still is kind of mysterious up until maybe season 4 or something. And he is still very intriguing just because we don't really understand the character fully yet. Like, we don't understand his motives and stuff fully, and we don't really understand him. Like, he doesn't have an overabundance of dialogue in the series. So while he is an intriguing character, I think most intriguing is a little bit of an exaggeration. I think most intriguing could be like 11, or my own hot take, Hopper. Hopper's my favorite character. Now, I do love Steve. Steve is my second favorite, but I love Hopper. But that's my hot take. Okay, the next hot take is Disney live-action remakes are an effective way to introduce new generations to these classic stories. No, because they could just watch the animated version. It's not like the animated version is exclusive to CDs and no one owns a CD player, so they can't watch the animated original version. No, it's not like Disney Plus, it's on Prime Video. Like, you can watch it on any of those. It's not like they can't see the original animated version. Now, there are ways to argue this point, because actually I saw the live action Aladdin before I ever saw the animated Aladdin, but it's not an effective way to do it. You could just like re-release, for instance, the animated version in theaters. Why are you spending money? And while yes, some of them do good, like Lilo and Stitch, which made $1 billion, some of them do bad, like the Snow White remake. And it's just like, Disney, you're a multi-billion-dollar company. Can you not hire writers to come up with new ideas? Like, are they out of ideas? And when they do make original films, like the Cruella movie, I actually love that movie. Like, the Cruella film is really good. Why can't they make more original films? Like, even if it's the backstory of a villain, because Cruella is the backstory of a villain, but it's still an original story. Why can't they make more of those? They're a multi-billion-dollar company. They have the money to do that. So, yeah, this is kind of a bad take. Okay, the next one is the 1980s is one of the worst decades for film. So, like any decade, the 80s has its bad movies, I'm sure, but every decade has that. The 80s has some of the best films of all time, especially for like George Lucas. We had, let's see, Empire Strikes Back, which is one of the best Star Wars films of all time, Return of the Jedi, we have Raiders of the Lost Ark, Dead Poets Society, and a bunch of other movies. Those are just the ones that I can name right now. But, it does have its bad movies, sure, but every decade has its bad movies. Like, our decade has Snow White. It's not one of the worst decades for film. So, I don't know why it would be. Okay, next one. The Star Wars prequels are better than the original trilogy. Maybe. Because my favorite Star Wars film is a prequel film. It's Revenge of the Sith. I think that's the best Star Wars film of all time. Do I think The Phantom Menace is better than the original trilogy? No. Do I think The Attack of the Clones is better than the original trilogy? Probably not. But my favorite film does come from the prequels. So I'd say while it isn't the worst take in the world, it's not also the best take. So I will say this take has some truth to it without being entirely true. And the reason I say that is because, again, Revenge of the Sith is my favorite Star Wars film. It's very impactful to see Anakin's fall from the dark side, and then that whole Order 66 sequence and the Battle of Mustafar with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin is like one of the best choreographed fight scenes of all time, not just Star Wars. So Revenge of the Sith is, I think, the best Star Wars movie, but the whole prequel trilogy as a whole, I don't think can match up to the original trilogy, just because all three films in the original trilogy are great. And the prequel trilogy, the first two films are okay, and the third film is the best Star Wars film of all time, in my opinion. Alright, the next one is from a horror film. It's It Chapter 2 is not that bad, way overhated, for real. God. When I first watched It Chapter 2, I actually turned it off because I was like, I'm trying to watch a horror movie and this isn't scary. And then I was like, okay, I'll finish it. And I finished it and I was like, oh, that's not that bad. But it's also not great. Because the first It film, like It Chapter 1, is amazing. It's great. It's scary. It's well executed. Bill Skarsgård gives a great performance in it, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, and Welcome to Derry. But way overhated. I could see why it is overhated, but it it has such big flaws with it. The CGI is bad. The way they defeat Pennywise, they explain it very poorly, because people think that, oh, they just bullied him and now he's gone. So why didn't they just do that in the first place? Well, no, it's more like the ritual did actually work. It just, factors had to happen in which, or like during the battle that they had, the people who died in that battle made the ritual work. It's very complicated. Like I had to watch a video like breaking down the ending of how it's not just, oh, they bullied the clown and then they won. So if you want, you can go watch a video explaining the ending, but there shouldn't have to be a video to explain the ending. So they made Pennywise really, or they made him seem really weak, and also the humor is not great in this film, because I watched it more for the horror and rather than the humor. Now, it is overhated, sure. I'll agree there, but it's still not like the greatest film of all time. It has very big flaws. All right, the next hot take, or the next three, are from Marvel, or about Marvel. Is The Falcon and the Winter Soldier is the best Disney Plus MCU show. The storytelling, how grounded it is, it's all great. Okay, the show itself is good. Like, it has its flaws like any Marvel show, but is it the best one? In my opinion, no. In my opinion, the best one is either Moon Knight or WandaVision. I can argue Moon Knight because the writing is just amazing. Oscar Isaac's performance is also amazing with two different personalities, and Moon Knight himself is just a really cool character. Like, what can I say? The reason why I could also say WandaVision is just because of how different it is. Like, there is no really other superhero show that's like WandaVision. It's a very different, it's very fresh, it's very mysterious. Like, I honestly really enjoyed watching WandaVision. So I would say, while Falcon and the Winter Soldier is a good Disney Plus show, it's not the best one. Alright, this one is Thanos was quite boring in Infinity War, not Endgame. What? How? Thanos has like some of the most iconic movie quotes of all time in Infinity War. He was so strong in Infinity War. Like him versus Hulk, him versus Thor, or, well, that was a little brief, but him versus Iron Man and the Guardians of the Galaxy. How is he boring in Infinity War? Then in Endgame, I feel like he becomes a little more boring. Now, when I say a little more boring, I don't mean he becomes boring at all. He's just Thanos in Infinity War, I think, is better than Thanos in Endgame. But him being boring in Infinity War is just insane. I mean, he does the snap in Infinity War. He does the "I'm inevitable" quote. He does his whole monologue in the very opening scene, and that's a fantastic opening scene. All right, this one is hot take. The MCU is overrated, and then parentheses, have not seen all. No. The MCU actually right now gets a lot of hate. There's tons of videos about like, oh, Marvel then versus now, and about like CGI and storytelling. So I don't think it can be overrated, because right now it actually gets made fun of more than it gets praised, to be honest. So also the fact that he hasn't seen it all, by he hasn't seen it all, does that mean that he's seen like most of it, there's just like one or two projects, or he's seen like phase one and he hasn't seen anything else? I think depending on how much he means he hasn't seen all, depends on also how much I can take this seriously, because if he hasn't seen most of it, I should just completely ignore his stake. But if it's like one or two projects, then that's fine. But no, it's not true, because Marvel gets made fun of more now than it gets praised. All right, so the last two hot takes are, there should be a movie theater that lets you in for free, but it plays ads during the movie. But that takes you out of the movie, though. Like, when you're watching something at home on like Prime Video and an ad comes on, that completely takes you out of the movie. Except for when there's ads at home, that actually gives you a chance to like get up and, I don't know, like go get popcorn or like use the bathroom or something. I don't know. Or like whatever you want to do when there's an ad. But in a theater, you're not going to get up and do anything. You're just sitting there. Now, with how expensive movie tickets are getting, though, nowadays, I can see why people would think this. So it's actually not the worst hot take. I just think Like, unless you can't pay for a movie ticket, but you still want to get the theater experience, I think this is a good alternative because watching a film in the theater is such a different experience than watching it at home by yourself. Like, if you watch the film Naked Gun, for example, by yourself at home, you may laugh at one or two jokes, but it's not going to be the same experience. But when I went and watched Naked Gun in the theater, the whole theater was laughing the whole time. I mean, it was great. So, with how expensive movie tickets are getting nowadays, I can see why, like, where this guy's coming from. But I think if you can pay for a film ticket, you should just go to the normal one that doesn't have ads rather than the one that's free but with ads, because that would take you out of the movie. But I can see where he's coming from, honestly. It's not the worst hot take, though I'm probably going to get flamed for that in the comments. Alright, so the last one is, unless it's a movie that's actively harming someone, I don't really think there's a movie that can guarantee such a physical hatred for it. I think every movie, even as bad as they get, can be enjoyable to a certain extent. I mean, that's the definition of dumb fun. It's like when a movie's bad, but it's entertaining just because it's dumb. A movie like that would be like Red One or something, where it's like dumb, but it's enjoyable. Like it's Christmas. It's fun. But I don't know what it means by actively harming someone. It's on a screen. Like, does she mean like when they're filming, like a stunt double gets hurt, like what happened on Rust, where the gun was loaded and the camera operator died? I think that's what she means by it. It's if one of the cast or crew gets actively hurt by when they're filming. I think that the flaw in her argument is every movie, even as bad as they get, because there are some movies that are just so bad you cannot enjoy them. That could be some like Disney Channel movies. Like I've seen, like okay, like for instance, I haven't seen the film Zombies, but I've seen clips of it because my sister really likes that film. That film is so bad I could not enjoy that. I don't know if that's just because I'm not the target audience or something, but I think there are some films that are just so bad that dumb fun doesn't work for them. But who knows? I might be wrong with that one. I can see where she's coming from, but I think she's wrong because there are some films that I think that are so bad that they just can't. Like, they're just too dumb. All right, well, thank you guys for watching, and I'll probably make a part 2 soon or something, or maybe like a hot takes on tech or something. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.